You're fired.
Oh, he is not fired, Mr. Trump. Donald Trump joins us live on this Monday, as he does every Monday. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
We understand you were in the great state of Iowa, state of my birth, over the weekend, and, you know, you're probably going to be running for president. I want to ask you a little bit about the fact that the city of Ramadi has fallen in Iraq. And while our CENTCOM says it's still contested, it looks bad there. If Donald Trump were president of the United States, or just as a potential candidate, would you call for boots on the ground?
Well, I would have never been in Iraq, to be honest. And in 2004, Reuters did a big story. I just saw it yesterday. Because I'm trying to figure it for, many years. I would have never, ever been in Iraq.
Okay, well, we're in Iraq now, though.
Yeah, what happened is all the Iraqi soldiers ran away.
Yeah.
They left our equipment there for ISIS to pick up. ISIS has a very low equipment cost. Every time they have a fight, Iraqi soldiers run away and they pick up brand new army tanks and guns and weapons and airplanes and helicopters. I mean, we are such jerks. But the Iraqi soldiers ran away, as usual. Because they have no leadership, because they have nobody, I don't know, they probably don't know what they're fighting for, something. But, it's hard to say they're cowards, but they have nothing to fight for. They have something wrong there. So, what would I do? It's a situation that's a disgrace. We can't rebuild our own cities. We're leaving hundreds of millions. Look at Yemen. We left $700 million worth of equipment behind for the enemy to take. $700 million.
Yeah.
And we had plenty of notice.
Let me ask you this, because a lot of people, the discussion after last week with Jeb Bush saying that he misheard the question, and then now Liz Cheney actually got in and posed a different question. Would you have left Iraq knowing what we know now? What position do you take on that?
We shouldn't have been there, and once we were there, we probably should have stayed because, at least there would be some semblance. The Middle East has been totally decapitated. It's a mess, and, the balance has been lost between Iraq and Iran. They used that balance, and things were a lot better in the old days. And, these characters like Rubio made a total fool of himself on Chris Wallace's program, talking about we're better off without Saddam Hussein. I mean, give me a break. Well, right now we have ISIS, which is worse than Saddam Hussein. And at least Saddam Hussein did one thing. He killed terrorists. He was very good at killing terrorists. You did not have terrorists.
But he also financed them over in Israel, and he single-handedly propped up Hamas while giving the families of suicide bombers new hotels.
Well, it turned out that he had no weapons of mass destruction. I mean, we went in on the single basis of weapons of mass, and we had very bad intelligence. He had none. He had absolutely
but that
none.
means, but every country had the same thing.
I think that right now we're in worse shape than we ever were. It's a mess. And did you see where ISIS is now building luxury hotels?
Yeah.
I mean, they're building luxury hotels because they have the oil. And you will remember, I always said, as long as we're there, when we leave, at least keep the oil. And everyone said, oh, that's such a horrible thing to say.
You said that from the get-go.
I said it from the beginning. You know who's got the oil now? ISIS. And they're building hotels. They're competing with Trump. I don't like competition. And they're getting money much cheaper.
And
I pay 2% for my money. They're paying nothing.
Yeah. Right. You get this. They ran some stats. You've had more appearances in Iowa than Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, Chris Christie combined. And one thing different about you, when you show up, you don't wear flannel, you don't wear jeans, you don't roll up your sleeves, you arrive in a big jet, and you wear your suits. What about that philosophy?
Well, whatever it is, I get the biggest crowds by far. I get the most standing ovations, and all I talk is business and common sense. I mean, I look at what's happening with China, with just ripping us and taking our jobs and our money, and then loaning the money back to us. They take our money, they take our jobs, and they loan it back to us, and we pay. And now we owe China $1.3 trillion. You believe this? 1.3, yeah. And they've decapitated our country in terms of economics. And it can be changed so easy. We have all the cards, but our leaders are incompetent. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. We have all the cards.
Yeah, we do.
It's literally a one-day negotiation, and I'll let your cameras follow me during that negotiation, and you'll see what it takes. We have leaders that don't even understand we have the cards.
Yeah.
Without us, China would fail. That's how bad it is.
They need our market.
Sure.
Yeah, Mr. Trump, speaking of cameras, George Stephanopoulos is the lead news guy over at ABC. He has apologized now twice for not explaining to people that he has donated up to at least $75,000 to the Clinton Global Initiative, the Clinton Foundation. A lot of people have donated money to the Clinton Foundation. However, he's a journalist. He's supposed to be unbiased. And as it turns out, when you look at some of the video of his interviews, he's not not tough on both sides. He's mainly tough recently just on people who want to be president, opposed to Hillary Clinton.
Except for one thing, he's always treated me nice. I don't know why. I don't get it, but he's always been very nice to me, and I've always liked him. I think he can recover. He probably should have announced it, or he shouldn't have apologized. You know, when people apologize, immediately, like the NFL commissioner, when he started apologizing all the time,
Yep.
I mean, every news conference he'd apologize, that's when your enemies go after you, really go after you. So I think he should have just said, hey, I did it. And, you know, he said that, and then he started apologizing profusely. And once you apologize, you're saying you're wrong. He should not have done that. Now, I'm just if I was representing him. With all of that being said, he should have revealed it, but he's always treated me nicely. When people treat me nicely, I have to be respectful to them.
That's very nice.
That's why I like you folks.
That's good. But you earned that being treated with respect because what you've done and what you do for us. Also, he said Britt Hume essentially thinks that he's not sure he'll recover anytime soon. Would you say that? There might be a little credibility issue there?
Well, Britt Hume is a great pundit. He understands, and that's his world, and I think he will recover, but it will take a time. I mean, I think Britt Hume said that he can recover, but it's going to take a period of time. Yeah. The apology was a pretty profuse apology, and he's done it 3 or 4 times. Sometimes you have to stop apologizing, get back to work, and do your thing. But certainly it was something that he should have revealed.
Mr. Trump,
he knows that.
Are you still looking at the same timeline, perhaps, for an announcement, or has anything changed?
During the month of June. I used to tell you during the month of June, July. And in my own mind, I have made up my mind.
Okay.
You want to give us a hint?
I just tell you we're going to make this country great again.
I'd say that's going to be a yes. All right, Donald Trump joins us every
We are going to make this country great again. And sadly, I have to use the word again, because right now we are a laughing stock all over the world.
All right, it sounds like he's about to start printing bumper stickers. Donald Trump, we'll see you back here next Monday.
Sure
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Please
Trump.
add toner.
All right.